Alright, this message or this video is inspired by a message I received. Basically, the person was saying they wish they had instructors or teachers of the martial arts that teach the way that I teach about the philosophy and things of that nature of where she lives in the UK. My response to that is that I am teaching you right now. No matter if we are face to face or with this technology now, with the internet, it allows me to reach out to people from all different states, all different countries. That's the beauty of the internet. So really, I am teaching you and other people through this internet, through this technology. And really, I consider, for me personally, my greatest motivation to teach is from the internet. Not really so much to people face to face, because it's harder to find the right people that live by me that this art is a good fit for. But because the internet allows me to reach out to a greater audience, I can connect with more people that share my views on the martial arts. So really, I'm already teaching. And I see that this spiritual training, this wisdom, this knowing of your inner self, this learning to express your inner self, this artistic self that you have within you, is a very important component in the martial art that is neglected in many schools. So my channel, my YouTube channel, is designed to complement your martial art, in which to make it whole. You could almost go to any school, martial arts school out there, and find somebody that's willing to teach you how to fight, that's willing to teach you how to defend yourself. But there will be few schools that will truly teach you the entire martial art. I found out about this spiritual aspect of the martial art, not from the people that I met face to face, not from the Sifus that I trained under face to face, but I found out from it actually from Bruce Lee's writings. So Bruce Lee passed away many years ago, but his teachings through his books were able to reach out to me. So I am not just a student of his, but I'm also a disciple. And the difference between a student and a disciple, a student is more somebody who is just learning what he can and then moving on. Disciple is more like somebody who learns it and also promotes that way, spreads the message basically. So I'm spreading the message, continuing on the spirit of Bruce Lee and his wisdom, his spiritual teachings. But it's not just Bruce Lee, it's actually the entire philosophy behind the martial art that needs to be transmitted to the people. Because Bruce Lee didn't create this spiritual aspect of the martial art. It was created. It could go back and back and back, all the way back to Buddha. It's basically the ancient Eastern philosophy, wisdom that's hidden away from much of society, that Bruce Lee was able to introduce me to. So what I'm trying to do is to introduce this aspect to others as well, so that they could see the beauty that I was able to discover. And if you learn this aspect, this spiritual aspect, it will complete your martial art no matter what you study. Actually, I studied a lot of combat sport. Combat sport is very effective. But the difference between what I do and what other practitioners of combat sport do is that I combine the spirit with the combat sport. That turned it into a martial art. So I studied a lot of kickboxing, a lot of boxing, for example. Combat sport, very effective. Bruce Lee studied a lot of boxing, very effective. But what turned it into the martial art is that spiritualness. Combat sport is just combat sport. There's no spirit behind it. But if you combine the spirit with whatever you practice, it will complete the martial art. And my spiritual training is designed to help you complete your martial art. Whatever you practice. No matter if you practice MMA, boxing, kickboxing, Thai boxing, Taekwondo, Aikido, Jiu-Jitsu, Judo. Whatever you practice, the spiritual component that I'm trying to convey, if you grasp that understanding, it will complete your martial art. And that is what's significant. So, when I speak to people that are living in different countries, different states, learn the combat from whoever is willing to teach you, of whom you feel is proficient in the combat techniques. Learn it from them. They're using you for money, you're using them to learn how to defend yourself. Okay, allow that business transaction to take place. Get good at the techniques. Be very proficient in the techniques. And then combine it with the spiritual training that I'm trying to teach. And then it will complete your martial art. And really, this spiritual aspect of the martial art is not just coming from me. I didn't develop this. I'm spreading the message of what is the foundation to the martial art. And you can check all the sources where I've discovered it to see for yourself. I'm making it easier for you because I'm just speaking it, and you just watch a YouTube video or just listen. It's quite easy. But if you want to do the research, then you should go ahead and do the research yourself. Start reading these books. Start searching to find the deeper meaning behind this martial art and what it really is supposed to represent. Go and read all the books from Bruce Lee, from his philosophies, and see what he's trying to teach. That goes beyond what you see in the movies. Look up on the Tao. Look up in the Tao Te Ching, which is a strong underlying philosophy of the martial arts. Look into Zen, which is a strong underlying philosophy of the martial arts. Look into the teachings of Buddha, which is the foundation to many martial arts. It's also said that Buddha was the one of the Buddhas was one of the ones that went to the Shaolin temples to show them a set of exercises. And then the Shaolin temple created the martial art from that. Look into the meaning of Do in Judo, Taekwondo, Aikido, Jeet. Look into what the meaning of Do means. Look into the real meaning of Kung Fu that goes beyond the stereotype that you have been misinformed about by the media. Look into this ancient wisdom of the East. You'll see an underlying theme of it in all of it. If you don't have the time to read, or you don't like to read, watch these movies deeply and understand what they're trying to teach you. One of the best movies that was ever created by Jet Li in his last martial art movie that he ever created is Fearless. Watch that movie deeply and really try to understand what he's trying to teach you in that movie. That is the spirit of the martial art. Look into the movie Hero with Jet Li. Look deeply into the movie, grasp the meaning of what he's trying to teach you in that movie. That is the spirit of the martial art. It goes beyond the violence. And if you're not getting this teaching from your martial art instructor currently, then you're going to have to go out there on your own to get it. And as I'm doing, I'm teaching this through the internet. Because this type of information, it's okay for anybody and everybody to learn. Because it's aimed towards peace. And I have no problems teaching this aspect of the martial art. And many times I will make video responses and I will respond to the questions that you have in order to help you understand the spiritual aspect of the martial art. But as far as the combat aspect, only certain people deserve to learn that aspect. I will not just teach anybody that aspect. I need to... That training has to occur face to face. That's something that I'm not willing to provide from internet alone. But as far as the spiritual, I'll do what I can to fill that gap that has been neglected in many of these martial arts schools out there. So what I say is you combine the strengths of masters from all different realms in order to take yourself to the highest level. So go ahead and search for the greatest combat sport instructor and get as good as you possibly can in that combat technique execution. And then go learn from one of the greatest athletes in the world that will get you the fittest that you possibly can be and become the greatest athlete that you can be. So combine the athleticism with the combat techniques. And if you can, get the intelligence from someone like Einstein. Learn to be extremely intelligent and scientific the way that he was. To be a very intelligent person. And then become very wise by learning from the great sages such as Buddha or Jesus or Lao-Tzu or Osho. Become extremely wise. Combine the talents from multiple people and you will take yourself to a very high level as a human being. So I'm not just promoting people to be the greatest martial artists they can be. I'm promoting people to be the greatest human beings that they can be. In all aspects of life. Body, mind, and spirit.